And now for the last book review that I am batch filming in this outfit. This is my review for Looking for Alaska by John Green. This is a book that I picked up during the Booktubeathon. It was one of the last things I finished, and I think this is my favorite John Green book. And I mentioned that in my Booktubeathon wrap-up, and now I will share with you why. So if you are unfamiliar with the plot of Looking for Alaska, it is about a boy who decides to go to the boarding school that his father went to for kind of a fresh start, to reinvent himself. He ends up sharing a room with a guy nicknamed the Colonel, and he gets nicknamed Pudge, and they end up hanging out with Pudge's friend Alaska. Pudge becomes quite enamored with Alaska. I think she's probably one of the more well-rounded manic pixie dream girls that Green writes. Like, compared to Margot, who is just a butthole and like intentionally vague, I feel like we're given more of an opportunity to see Alaska as a well-rounded person just because she's kind of all over the place emotionally, and I mean, rightly so when we learn her backstory. She's a little more complex. We don't get to really delve into that complexity in any sort of way. We're still very much viewing her from the outside through Pudge's point of view, but I think she's slightly more fleshed out than some of the other manic pixie dream girls that we get. And I think that's why I like this book better than I liked Paper Towns and The Fault in Our Stars. I also think that because they are at this boarding school for super smart people, it makes a little more sense that these characters are not your typical high school characters. I think they're less elevated. Like, I think as Green has gone along, his characters have become more and more elevated out of the realm of what an actual high school student would sound like. Like, Hazel and Augustus have these really, really deep thoughts and conversations, and they're almost a little too smart. But I think because the characters at this boarding school are supposed to be like smarty pants scholarship students, it makes a little more sense that they are a little more literate, a little more philosophical. They're still smarter than your average high school student. I think they come off older than your average high school student, but I don't think it's as bad as in some of the other Green novels. Also, this is a spoiler, but it's one of the things that I liked about the book, so I'm going to talk about it. If you haven't read Looking for Alaska and you don't want to be spoiled, thank you for watching. You will want to close the video now. So, if you were okay with being spoiled, this is the spoiler. I really liked that Alaska died. She is so much the focus of Pudge's obsession and his experience at this school that I really, really liked that she actually died. Unlike Margot, who just vanishes and is alive, Alaska is actually dead, and it's unclear whether she killed herself or whether it was an accident, and I like that it's uncertain. I know she died to advance Pudge as a character, which I didn't really like so much in Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I didn't like that the girl was there as just like a plot point. I think Alaska is a plot point, but she's also a little larger than a plot point as well. She's slightly more involved. To me anyway, it felt right that she died. It felt true to her character to die. Like her smoking cigarettes, she smokes cigarettes to die faster. It felt kind of natural that she would die young in a very Alaska kind of way. That was one of the things that made me like this more than Paper Towns. I'm actually really curious to see where Green goes. There's, I would imagine, a lot of pressure on him as an author to produce something. No matter what he writes, he's probably going to get published. I'm just curious to see his growth as a writer. If he grows as a writer. Chat with me in the comments below about Looking for Alaska, your thoughts on it. Which is your favorite of the Green novels if you've read multiples? And do you have any thoughts on where you would like to see Green grow as a writer? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!